Welcome to the Sunshine Podcast. This is yours truly, Dora Williams, and I am here with the men segment, Men, We Need Your Voice. And it is a pleasure and an honor to have with me Mr. Cedric Johnson on this episode of the Men's Podcast. I have only known him a short while. We met at the Men's Conference back in March of this year. And he, was willing to be a part of the podcast, and I'm so grateful to have him. So at this time, we're going to turn it over to him and allow him to introduce himself, and we're going to get right into it.
Okay. How everybody doing? Thank you, Ms. Dora, for having me on the Sunshine Podcast. My name is Cedric Johnson. I'm an entrepreneur, so I run my own landscaping business, landscaping lawn maintenance, which is called Precision Cuts. I'm also a life insurance agent for Globe Life Liberty National Division, the Carter's Agency. I've only been doing that for a short time, but I'm rather enjoying it. I'm also a community activist, a community mentor. I'm also a travel football coach for the Glover Brother Tigers out of Folkestone, Georgia, and husband, brother, son, whatever other title you want to add to it. I'm that uncle, cousin to some of the kids in the community. But it's a pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. You do a lot, and that's good. That's a good thing. So we're gonna get right into it. And talking about men, we need your voice. How important to you is the voice of a man? You can start with the home, the church, then the community.
Okay. The voice of a man is definitely important within the home in each aspect that you just spoke of. But starting with the home, the voice of a man is truly needed. Definitely can commend mothers who are single, who can take care of a lot of the things that, a lot of people feel like men can't do. But there's a one thing and a one aspect of a man's voice that instills something into kids that every child that you have needs. A lot of kids that I come across, they are in single parent homes. So they don't have a man's voice in the home, and it's rather positive for them to actually see and hear a man and to receive direction from them, because mothers very, very much are important. I look at mothers as queens. Honestly, mothers are the closest thing to God that there is.
Wow.
Like that's my view. A woman creates, brings life into the world. Amongst many other things, a woman can multiply things from nothing to something.
Right.
So I believe that mothers are important, but a man's voice in the home does something different for kids, especially when you have a positive man, someone who breathes positive affirmations into the children and positive reinforcement. That does something different for a kid that, as much as a mother is going to display her love, it's just something that's not the same when it's given out.
Wow.
And I think that a lot of men, especially those who are active in their child's lives, can kind of see that. And if you can't see that, then you need to open your eyes a little bit further, because your voice is not only important, but your presence as well.
Right.
All right. Within a church, a man's voice is just as important in the church as it is at the home. The church is also another home for individuals.
Right.
So the same things apply there. You'll have your first ladies. If you don't have first ladies, you have your deaconesses, who everybody can corral around them, and they can feel that love and that passion that's given out. But also having a man inside of the church, and having men who may not necessarily be a part of the church in a way, and I'm talking about families, but in a way that, a lot of people think they should be. But as long as a man is trying to get his life straightened out with God, like, that's something that's commendable as well, because you can see the difference. Like right now, there's an influx of men really starting to gravitate back towards church. And your pastor, bishop, what have you, may be a male, maybe a female, but at the end of the day, like, just a man who shows the way and tries to lead in the righteousness of God and the Most High, like, that's something that anybody who sees that, they want to follow that, you know. And to be a great leader, you have to follow first.
Right.
Like, that's a must. You can't just come out the gate and be a leader. You can show leadership qualities, but you have to follow somebody first in order to really be able to polish your skill set as a leader.
That's good.
And that's what any man should do. You should find a role model, whether that's in the church, at home, whether that's a sport, whatever. Like, find a man who is a really good role model and follow him. Like, and you don't have to follow him step for step, because you got to pave your own way.
Right.
But the way that you have to go about it is look at what that person does in his leadership role, and then take what you can apply for yourself, and then you put your own spin on that, and you create your leadership in the manner that would be most beneficial to you, but advantageous for others to follow you. And what was the last one?
Community.
The community? Oh, I don't even know how much I need to go into the community part, but I mean, man's voice in the community, that's man, it's a lot that I can say about that, just being in the community. It's imperative. Like, we got a lot of women on the forefront, but back in the day, during civil rights days, we had a lot of men who were also at the forefront. These days, you don't really see that. You see more of the women taking that leadership to try to bring the community together and to do things within the community. And, you know, I can attest that to my wife and, you know, her cousin, Natasha Donnelly, and, you know, a few of her other cousins that, you know, I can say are really trying. But when you have a man like Antoine Nixon, you know, like, it's something about seeing somebody like that driving the community into the direction that needs to be talked about. There needs to be uncomfortable conversations had within the community, because we live in a diverse world. And everything ain't cut and dry. Everything isn't black and white. And to have somebody that is strong enough to stand at the front of the line as a man. I'm not talking about the women, because the women have always been strong. But as a man, when you can see a strong man at the front of the line in the community, and that's trying to find ways to change things and make things better than what they are, you can see a sense of togetherness being brought in, and you can see people just kind of like coming out of the woodworks and kind of coming from under the rocks, you know. And for me, being in the community and being somebody who does interact with a lot of kids in the community, you know, like, it's not really many places that I go where if it's a kid I've interacted with, whether that's on the football field or just talk to in the community, like, my name is Cedric, but I'm considered Coach Dex to a lot of kids. So when I'm out and about, you may hear, "What's up, Coach Dex? Hey, Coach Dex." And it's like, at the time when I was coaching them or giving them a speech about, you know, their behavior or whatever, it didn't register to me that later on down the road, they would be coming back to me and thanking me or just looking up to me. So now that I understand that, I know that being the man in the community, I have to make sure that I'm leading the right way and I'm leading by example. I'm not only doing that, but I'm showing them how it is to treat a woman, you know, like, so they can see how I display my love towards my wife and display my love towards my daughter and how I treat everybody around me. I don't go about dogging people. I don't do things that, you know, to me, I seem unfit or out of my character. I do everything. I try to do everything the right way. Do I fall short sometimes? Yes, but as a man, you have to hold yourself accountable for your shortcomings. And that's just for any person. I ain't even gonna speak just for men, but for any person, you find yourself falling short or have shortcomings, hold yourself accountable, and then from there, correct what you've done wrong, and then make sure that you go about doing it the right way the next time that you come across that. If you don't, then, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to say that you're delusional or that, you know, you have a mindset about you that can't necessarily give yourself truth. You can't accept the truth. And I find a lot of people who don't accept accountability, you know, it to me, it's distasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not always the victim at times,
right?
But you know what I'm saying, there are things that you can improve on. You're not perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect,
right?
Like God made us in His image and likeness, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we're not God. There is no perfection when it comes to us. Mm-hmm. So that we have to understand that. We have to understand that first. Mm-hmm. Hold ourselves accountable second, mm-hmm. and third, make the changes as needed, mm-hmm. as individuals to try to reach perfection. Mm-hmm. You don't be a perfectionist, mm-hmm. but because nobody can be perfect. Right. But you want to get as close to perfect as you can, mm-hmm. and you're gonna fall short at times. Mm-hmm. There are gonna be things that you're not gonna do right, mm-hmm. and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But make sure that you're holding yourself accountable when that happens. Mm-hmm. So that's what I try to do, and I tell that to anybody that I come across, kids in the community, adults. A lot of people will tell you that I'm very blunt, honest, mm-hmm. and I'm raw. Mm-hmm. Like I will tell you that I am very raw, mm-hmm. but it's not in a malicious way. Right. It's always in a way to where I can get somebody to start thinking, mm-hmm. not only about themselves, mm-hmm. but for themselves. Mm-hmm. And then from there, hey, look, let's tap into why you feel like, you're not wrong in the way that you do things. Mm-hmm. Or let's tap into why you truly feel like you're doing things the way that you are, because a lot of people are battling things and we don't know what they're battling. Right. And for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like trying to help people has always been my purpose in this world. Mm-hmm. So I go about that in everything that I do. That's why I got into life insurance. Mm-hmm. That's why I do lawn maintenance and landscaping. Mm-hmm. That's why I coach. That's why I do everything that I do, because I want to help people. Mm-hmm. Like that's my biggest purpose. That's the purpose that God has put inside of my heart, mm-hmm. and that's how I drive myself every day. Mm-hmm. Like I want to help not only my family, but any other family that I come across, or mm-hmm. just individuals in general. Mm-hmm. But that's just something that me personally I do. So that's why I feel like a man's voice is important in the home, the church, and the community.
Mm-hmm. Very good. You're saying some real good stuff and giving some real good wisdom here. Now, why do you feel like a lot of men have lost their voice in all three categories, whether it be the home, the church, or the community?
Oh, you want the truth? You want the truth?
Yes, the truth. The real truth. I want you to tell the truth. To be straight honest.
Okay. All three of those are reserved towards a lot of what make sure I choose my words right. A lot of that is gonna be directed towards what those who are in charge of our country have done. They've taken a man out of the home. They've made it easier for women to feel like they can be independent, yet dependent on the government. Mm-hmm. Which, again, once you decide to take those benefits, you can't have a man inside your home. Wow. So that initially removes a man. It goes back further than just governmental stuff, though. Mm-hmm. It goes back to slavery days when initially, boom, as soon as you get on that plane or that platform, you've been separated from your family. If you do get into a plantation where you are with your family, they're gonna make an example out of you. That example being made causes fear in a woman to protect her child, especially a young man. So those things have been what has driven the man's voice and the man period out of the home, out of the church, out of the community. There are people who have done worse things than try to provide for their families, whether it's not right, and I'm going to state that now. It's not right for an individual to go out here and peddle drugs or anything of that nature. But the same people who are taking you off the street and putting you in jail for 30, 40 years of life, same people who prescribing you.
Go ahead.
Okay. But it's the same people who are prescribing you these prescription drugs with drugs that are just as harsh, if not worse, than what you putting out here in the streets. But, we don't necessarily talk about that.
Right.
And a lot of people just, we have individuals right now who in jail for petty stuff. And a lot of those are black men or brown men, and a lot of the stuff that the nonviolent crimes is how they continue to take the man away. And, there are things that we need to do better in the community as men. There are things that we need to do better in the home because everybody's not innocent.
Right.
And I'm not standing on the fact that, hey, we ain't do nothing wrong. Nah, you did do something wrong. But was it as bad as the punishment that was given to you? Because there are far worse things that people are doing out here that get a slap on the wrist, or they barely get condemned or reprimanded for that. But then when it's us, and I'm particularly speaking about black and brown men, when it's us, it's a problem. But the real problem is they haven't found a way to actually make slavery legal outside of you being at a job working for a corporation.
Right.
So instead of us slapping the word slavery on, we gonna bring incarceration. We gonna put you in jail for 20 years for a nonviolent crime, and then you gonna work for free or pennies on the dollar for an hour, or how many hours they choose to make you work. Chain gang. Same thing they had back in the slavery days. Back after emancipation, you still had black men being resulted or being profited off of their labor. And yet the things that we've been able to do and how resilient we are as people just shows that even though you try to take us away from where we come from or from the origins of what it is, like our resiliency is always going to stand strong, and we always going to find a way to bounce back. And a lot of times that bounce back is just what we need. That second chance is just what we need. Like the time, do the crime, do the time, cool saying, but was the time really necessary? And if you took the time out during that time of you being incarcerated, did you do certain things to where when your time came for your sentence to be over, did you do something inside of there to where when you came out, you'd be able to help the next generation understand that, hey, look, 20-second mistake turned into 20 years of my life being gone away from family, friends, mom, dad. And are you able to turn your mistake into a actual mastery of a craft? Can you come out and talk to the community and let the community know, look, even though I've been in there, this is a new me. I'm not the person who went in. No, everybody has made mistakes. Nobody has done anything that, they should sit here and not bat an eye at or turn their nose up. No. Everybody done something, So just that aspect alone, that mindset, that thought, can you come out here and make a difference and be a difference? I always tell people, have a blessed day, but be a blessing as well. And I feel like anytime that you can help make a change in the world or just starting off in your community, that's being a blessing. And you're also blessed enough to wake up each day to make a change for somebody or be able to help somebody. And now I'm a 1%er, and I say 1%er when I say that, I'm saying every day I want to figure out how can I get 1% better than I was when I started my day out, and the day when I laid my head down the night before. Can I be 1% better than how I was when I started my day out? And I thank God for continuously allowing me to do that. I'm only 34 years old, but I've seen so much of my life. I'm from the inner city of Atlanta and ended up becoming a a military brat, with, a lot of people will say your stepdad, but nah, that's my father. That's who taught me how to be a man. That's who showed me the ropes, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he is part of the reason why I am the way I am today. Now, that's a man's voice and the man figure being in the house.
Right.
But my grandmother, like, that's the one. Like, she the one. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a combination of both. Like, I love the fact that you have a segment or a session for men to speak about our voice being needed, but we aren't needed alone. Like, it takes both of us. It takes the man and the woman. And, like, without a strong, supportive woman behind the man, like, half the time we can't get to where we need to be.
Right.
So, like, we come in with some of us are young mindset. Our young mindsets deter us from being what we can be. But once we go through a maturation process, normally that maturation process comes from being with the woman who has a good head on her shoulders and has her heart in the right place, and she wants to see you do better.
Right.
So having somebody like that to push you forward and to uplift you when the world is tearing you down, and I know that a lot of women are being torn down as well, and it's the man's responsibility to make sure that he's supporting her and uplifting her as well. But for a man, you need a good woman in your life, a great woman, whether that's your grandmother, your mother, your auntie, sister, somebody, your wife. Like, you need a great woman in your life. I ain't gonna say good, great. You need a great woman in your life to uplift you and make you the person that you can be. Because you never know what your potential is until a great woman comes along and pushes you into that direction. So, I'm thankful to have great women in my life. Like, thankful to have a great wife, great daughter, great mother, great sisters, aunts. My grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Like, she passed away 10 plus years ago, but like, that was my rock. So, like, if it wasn't for her, the smile you see today, it's the smile that I always carry on a daily basis. Like, she always told me, like, even when life tearing you down, don't never let them see you. Right. They want to see you like that. So your bounce back and your rebound got to be just like anybody on that court if you playing ball. And I played football, so, she was just always like, if you feeling like life bringing you down, take somebody out on that field. And then when you come off that field, be the man that I know you can be. Right. Be a good man. Be a great man. So, no longer in the sport, but I coach the sport now. Right. So I still have to be a great man on that field. Right. I got to be a great man wherever I stand. Wherever my feet are, I have to be a great man at that time.
That's good. That is good. What would you say to that man that has felt like they've lost their voice and want to get it back, but really don't know how or what direction to take or the steps to take to reclaim their voice back? What suggestions or what advice would you give that man?
Keep going, brother. Not just, and when I say that, I'm not telling you to suppress whatever you feeling. Nah. Know God first, bro. Like, know God first. If I'm speaking directly to a man out there who feels like he's lost his way or lost his voice, bro, seek God first. Like, I've been there. I've lost my voice. I've lost my way. But I secluded myself from the world for weeks on end, depressed and feeling certain type of ways that, not to get too personal, but, like, it was dark. It was dark. But, like, talking to God on a daily basis and, like, really starting to reach out and tap into my spirituality and tapping into that spiritual realm, like that helped kickstart the beginning of something great moving forward. Once you found your relationship with God, then start moving in God's purpose for you. You may not know what your purpose is, but He gonna speak to you on a daily basis. You may think it's your conscience that's talking to you when you trying to make a decision. Yeah, it is, but God is within each and every one of us. Right. So that voice within is God. You may consider it your consciousness, but that's God talking to you, trying to direct you, trying to get you on the path that He already has set for you. You may get led astray by other individuals, or you may just find yourself going off the path because something has caught your eye. But don't give up, and don't let yourself become so far down in that hole to where that darkness you can't see even a sliver of light. Don't let yourself get that far. And if you do find yourself that far down in a hole or down in darkness, bro, you gotta see God. Even in the darkest hours, God is there for you. Right. God is there with you. So you don't have to, you're not alone. You're never alone. Right. But even when you feel alone, bro, find God first. Establish that relationship. Walk in that light. And then keep stepping in that light. And then be the light once you've gotten out of that darkness. Be the light. Like, if you can't understand that coming out of the darkness was a great moment for you, then did you really understand what God was taking you through in order for you to realize how big of an influence and an impact you can be out here in this world? So once you come out of that darkness and you stepped into the light, after stepping into the light, you have to be the light. You have to. And you've got to be able to be the light for somebody else in the darkness. Right. And I found myself just casually listening to a lot of people. And instead of being somebody that kind of shuns them or, takes the time out to judge them, I just listen. I just listen. And as they're talking, like, my discernment is real, but that comes from God. Right. So, like, I'm able to really realize, like, this person seeking help, and they don't even know it. And some way, somehow, just by way of conversation with me, I can get something from them as far as understanding their situation, and I can try to direct them in a way to where, it might not be much from me or for them, but it's just enough for where they can come back and tell me later, or if they see, even if I never see them again before they walk off, it's like, hey, I really needed this. Right. I was down. I've had a few individuals who told me, before I smiled and just spoke to them, they were ready to leave this world. And like, the crazy part is, it's not crazy, because God places you in places and at His time. Right. So His timing is never off. It's always on point. Right. And I may not have had somebody there for me during those times because I secluded myself, but I think that's just what God wanted me to do, is take myself away from everybody and then get my relationship back right with Him, so that once I got out of my darkness and stepped into the light, I could be the light. So I walk with that light, and I can resonate with individuals who have felt like they want to be no longer here. I can resonate with that. Like I said, I'm not gonna get too deep into my past, but like, I've been there multiple times, but I'm still here today, and that's all thanks to the Most High. So I have to make sure, like I said, brother, walk in your light once you get into the light. So I have to make sure the light that I came into is the same light that I'm carrying on to everybody that I come into contact with. And I want to be able to illuminate a room where, as soon as I walk in, like, I don't want the attention on me, but I want people to feel my aura and feel my spirit, because it's all positivity, you know. And I know that there are jealous spirits out here who don't like me or for what I don't know, but at the end of the day, I still love you. So, you know what I'm saying? I love everybody I come into contact with. And I think that love being spread, brother, that's what you got to do too. So when you do find yourself and you do find your voice again, make sure that you passing it forward. You paying it forward to everybody. You know what? Don't even give it to everybody, because everybody is not deserving of what you have. Make sure that the individuals that you come into contact with, that you can see need some light and need some love, make sure you pay it forward to them. And that's what I would tell a man who feels like he's lost his voice or, you know, has lost his way. Keep going. Establish your relationship with God. Once you come out of that darkness and you get into that light, you walk in that light, and then you be the light.
That is very good and very encouraging. I am hoping that something is said to really encourage you to keep going no matter what. Even if you have lost your voice, you don't have to stay on mute. You don't have to stay on mute. Like you said, seek God. You have to seek God in those dark moments. And from there, once you found that light, walking in that light, make sure that you are that light for other individuals that may come your way. I love what he said, be a good follower. My father always tell us, in order to be a good leader, you must be a good follower. You have to. There's no way around it. Follow someone. It doesn't matter who was not there in your life, who walked out on you. There is someone who can be there for you. So find someone. If you don't have anybody to follow so that you can to follow, find someone. There are many good men out here waiting to mentor you, to encourage you, to counsel you. So at this point in your life, there should be no excuse. While you're still silent, while you're still procrastinating, find somebody. Pray and ask the Lord, lead me and guide me to a good man that will mentor me in the right direction that I may go. And while he's mentoring you, continue to seek the Lord. I love what he said also, lead the right way and be an example. And hold yourself accountable. You continue to play the blame game and not hold yourself accountable and admit your wrongs, then you'll forever remain stuck. Hold yourself accountable and accept the truth about yourself, the good and the bad. Lastly, when you were saying about the women, because I had a talk with my brother some years ago. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. We haven't always had a good relationship, but it took one brother passing for us to get close. And I went up to Atlanta a couple of years back, maybe about 2 years ago. And we spent some quality time together. And that was some much needed time. We were having conversations and we talking about relationships and things. And he had said to me that we need y'all as women. We really need y'all, because if we don't have y'all, we're really lost. We need y'all to push us, encourage us. And that's when I really got the passion for this men's podcast, because as he said to me, we need y'all. In the back of my mind, I'm saying that's good and dandy, and that's good to hear. That's very encouraging to know. But we also need y'all, men. We definitely, like you said, you can't do one without the other. We have women, stepping up to the plate, doing things. The women's voice is heard, and that's good. The women's voice need to be heard. But the man's voice is vitally important too. And just as y'all need the women's voice, we need y'all. So be encouraged. And like he said, be a great man wherever your feet tread. Wherever your presence is, be the greatest man that you can possibly be. Because why? Men, we need your voice. Is there anything else you need to say?
Outside of thank you for having me, hey man, I just want to tell every man, boy out there that, when things aren't going in your favor, always remember that God's grace is forever. His mercy is forever and unmatched. And his favor is forever. So don't let what you're going through dictate how you continue to move forward, or how you continue to lead, or how you continue to get up each day and do what you need to do. Don't let the bad outweigh the good, because the best thing about waking up every day, God has already given you the favor to start off. So from there, you make sure that you return that favor by doing something good in the world and presenting yourself in a manner that somebody else can see that light that I told you to walk in. Somebody else can see that light, and they can also be appreciative for the person that you are. Because believe it or not, a lot of people are watching. A lot of people are watching. You never know who's looking and watching and looking up to you. So men, young men, little boys, bro, y'all make sure that y'all do the right things and be great wherever your feet are. Plant your feet sometimes and just make sure that you become planted. Embrace yourself in the world. Embrace yourself with nature. That's all God. All of that's God. So make sure that you're living in that. Live in the light. Love everybody. Spread love. Positivity. And smile. Hey man, it's too many people, too many men out here who try to wear that hard, tough face. Bro, smile, brother. Like, a smile will definitely change the way that a lot of people perceive us, especially us black men. We're always looked at as angry. And to be honest, you got a right to be. But don't let your anger overshadow the way that you can actually make a change by your face. A smile, that's it. A smile can change so much for a lot of people. And I love seeing brothers, especially black brothers, like smiling, because that makes me smile. I'm gonna smile regardless, but in my heart, it makes my heart smile, because it's like, all right, I may not know what he's going through, but to see him smiling, that lets me know that it's not so bad to where, you know, he can't muster a smile. It don't take many muscles. It take more muscles to frown your face up than it take you to smile. So, you know, show them pearly whites. You know what I'm saying? Them dimples. And hey, look, if you got a beard, everybody can't see it. But hey man, just live in the moment and be positive. Spread positivity. And man, definitely try to help this next generation, because this next generation is so lost. They're so lost. And that's the thing I'm scared of, because they're so intelligent. They far more intelligent than anybody could have ever imagined. And yet the fact that there is no way for them to understand how intelligent they are without a great mentor or a great individual to help bridge that gap of the unknown. Like, man, bring this next generation up to where they can actually understand their importance in this world, their intelligence, and what they can actually provide for us when we get older. Because they the next best thing. So let's make sure that we trying to get the next generation to where they need to be, so that when we get old and decrepit and around here on walkers or what have you, like we can sit on the porch in the swing or whatever, and we can smile and be like, man, we did something good. And you can see the work being put in. So man, y'all do that. Smile, lead the next generation, walk in that light.
There you have it, y'all. Y'all be encouraged and take this wisdom and apply it. Don't just listen at it and go on about your day. Apply it. Let this be a self-evaluation for yourself, and apply this wisdom, and let's all do better. Amen. So I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much for coming on, being a part of the men's segment, Men We Need Your Voice. I appreciate you so much. And until next time, you all be blessed, and don't forget to walk in that light.